The Willys MB, or the Ford GPW, or of course the military Jeep, or as they call it, the US Army truck half-ton 4x4 vehicle, is of course the legendary Willys Jeep. Now this awesome thing is a highly successful off-road capable lightweight military utility vehicle built in large numbers to a standardized design from 1941 all the way to 1945 for the Allied forces in World War II. Now what's really cool about this awesome Jeep that it's so simple in many ways. I mean, it's really basic. It's just all the way basic to the ground, which is absolutely awesome. Anyone can work on it, anyone can fix it, anyone can actually make it run, and it's so awesome. And this thing and this simplicity, it gave this beautiful Jeep its own awesome basic beautiful character, which I really adore. Because with all of this simplicity, you might think, oh, it's so basic, it's rubbish everywhere. It's actually good everywhere. You can drive it on sand, on dirt, on mud, on snow, and it will keep on running and running and running non-stop, which is absolutely awesome. And I think this is one of the many things that helped the Allied forces were winning the World War II, because this thing was used to transport soldiers, weapons, medical things from point A to point B. And this car, or this vehicle, never gave up, kept working from the day it rolled off the assembly line all the way until, of course, World War II ended. So thanks to Mr. Pythagoras for sponsoring this awesome challenge, because we are going to create a competitor to the Willys MB Jeep. But of course, as I mentioned, it was built up to 1945, but in automation game we can't go to 1945. We can only go down to 1946. So yes, the production obviously is 1946, because that's as low as we can go in automation game. Now, as I mentioned already, it's called the Ford GPW because, yes, I'm not joking, the Willys Jeep was built not only by Willys themselves. Ford actually built around 277,000 of these beasts, which is really awesome, because because the army was demanding so many vehicles, and Willys with their small production lines, they couldn't cope with the demand. So the army gave the contract also to Ford to help Willys produce more Jeeps to, of course, to help the army winning the war. So let's explore the rules and let's see what's what. Alright, so the rules are pretty straightforward actually, and pretty simple to understand, and it's really exciting to create such a crazy car, a crazy creation to compete against that Willys 1940s Jeep legend. Alright, so the first and the most important rule is, of course, the production year. It's 1946, no more, no less than that. The next rule, which is of course the body, the allowed body types. Well, my friend, you can use any utility looking body like pickups, SUVs, vans, a ute. These things are the only allowed bodies, no sedans and no convertibles and none of that nonsense. Then you have the budget rule. Well, my friend, you have a budget of $12,000 max. This is your approximate, of course, a budget in automation game for the total car, $12,000. All right, my friends. So the next is a chassis. Well, my friend, the allowed chassis are ladder only, no monocoque and nothing else, only ladder. The next bit is the suspension type for the front and the rear axles. Well, my friend, the only suspension that is not allowed is double wishbone. You cannot use double wishbone. Anything else is allowed except no double wishbone suspension. Moving on to the engine. Well, my friend, you can use absolutely any engine type you want, with a capacity limit starting from 1.3 liters all the way up to 5 liters max. This is your engine size limit, 1.3 at least and 5 liters max. Moving on, my friend, the cylinder head or the head design or the valve terrain, the allowed valve terrains in this challenge are only the push rods and direct acting overhead cam, only those two. Double overhead camshaft, single overhead camshaft, these two are not allowed. Only push rods and direct acting overhead cam. Moving on to the internals, well, my friend, you can use any internals for your engine. And then, of course, you have the fuel type. Well, my friend, you can use only 92 leaded octane fuel. Moving on to the intake, well, my friend, you can use standard intake only. No performance, and of course, no race. Moving on to the exhaust, well, my friend, you can use absolutely any headers option you want. And then when it comes to mufflers, mufflers are required, so you can't choose the non-option. You can use any muffler option you want, but of course the non-option is not allowed. Moving on to the max engine cost, this is your engine budget limit. Well, my friend, your engine needs to cost less than $650. This is your limit for the for the engine alone, $650. Then we move on to the drive type. Well, my friend, you can use any drive type you want, and after it, of course, you can use any gearbox option you want. Anything, any number of gears, any gearbox option, it's up to you. And then, of course, when it comes to differential, you can of course use any differential option you want, manual, locker, or even open. It's up to you. What it depends on your budget. Then we move on to the tires. Well, my friend, since we are in the 1940s, that means cross-ply tires are the only option here. That means you can use only cross-ply tires with off-road, compound only. No hard long life, and no medium, no sport, and no semi-slicks. Only hard, only of course off-road compound tires. Then of course we move on to the undertray. You can use absolutely any undertray option you want. With the cooling for the engine, needs to be at least 50, because these cars are reliable. They don't get overheat. They don't overheat. So make sure your engine actually runs cool and reliable. Then we move on to the interior. Well, my friend, if you go with a body that supports only 2 seats, you can only go with 2 seats, at least. But if the body that you chose can take 4 seats and more, you have to go with 4 seats max, and it depends on what body you chose. Two seats for like small bodies, and well, of course 4 seats if the body can support 4 and more. Right, then we move on to the interior type. You can use any interior type you want, when it comes to your budget and all of that. It's up to you. Entertainment, well, my friend, you can use you don't have to use any entertainment. Entertainment is not required, so you can't choose entertainment. It's not required at all. Then move on to the safety. Well, my friend, you can use any safety option, none and above. It's up to you. And the last bit, or actually before the last bit, is the suspension type. Well, my friend, you need to tune your suspension to be good when it comes to utility, to put heavy cargo things in the vehicle and to take it off-road. So you have to find the perfect line between off-road and utility to make it run. This is the best option to go with in this challenge. And now, of course, that leads us, of course, to the total category points, because, my friend, the total category points will determine how good your car is in automation game. And to calculate your TCP, your total category point number, you need to add those categories that I'm going to be mentioning in a bit. And the categories in this challenge that you need to calculate, you need to add those numbers together at the end of any creation automation game. The game will give you, of course, numbers for each individual category. So you need to take those numbers, add them all together, and the total number is your TCP number, which will determine if your car is good enough for the final video or not. Right, the categories are drivability, practicality, utility, off-road, reliability, and eco. Again, drivability, practicality, utility, off-road, and of course reliability and eco. Add those numbers all together, you will get a special number, which is your TCP number. Make sure to write down this number when you submit your .car file on my Discord. Write this number next to your car, so your car won't get disqualified for not writing down the TCP number. And that's pretty much it. Basically, those are all the rules. Make sure your car looks real, you know, with all the legal fixtures, wipers, headlights, tail lights, and all of these things that make it look tough off the road, and make it look tough as a military vehicle. You know, make sure it's better than, of course, the legendary Willys Jeep when it comes to looks, when it comes to fixtures, when it comes to toughness. Make sure it's a lot better than that. And of course, the winner of this challenge will receive a copy of this Willys Jeep that you are watching right now to enjoy in his BeamNG.Drive, which leads us to the deadline of this challenge. My friend, you have a full week to create and submit your car on my Discord. That means the deadline of this challenge is the 12th of February, 6 p.m. at +3 GMT time. That's my local time. Yeah, 6 p.m. +3 GMT time. Make sure to submit your car on my Discord before the deadline of this challenge, so you don't miss your chance to participate. And well, that's pretty much it. Good luck on your creation, and big thanks to Mr. Pythagoras for sponsoring this awesome challenge. I really cannot wait to see what you guys will come up with, and I will see you within a week, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining. Make sure to hit that thumbs up, and of course to get subscribed if you are new to my channel, and of course to watch my previous videos. And well, good luck on your creation in this challenge and every futuristic challenge that you'll be making in automation game. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you want to sponsor the next challenge, the link in the description below for my Patreon page. If you want to become also a VIP member to help me judge all the cars for this challenge and future challenges on my Discord, also the link in the description below for my Patreon page. Subscribe and you can sponsor your own challenge. You can become a VIP member. You can download all of my special BeamNG cards and more. Basically everything in the description below, my Instagram, Snapchat, blah 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 blah, and all of that. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I will see you very, very soon, my friends. Thank you so much, and goodbye for now, my friends.